Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Phyrexia All Will Be One draft here on the channel. We're going to be going pick by pick, play by play, talking through everything so you know what to do when you draft the format yourself. If you do enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe for more content, and comment with your questions, thoughts, and feedback. Our rare is very interesting because typically it would be very strong. It just lets you get back a non-land permanent every single turn, even if it's the only one you're casting, still very powerful. I'm not sure how high priority this is in this format, because taking your turn 4 off to do nothing could be really devastating, and I think green tends to be relatively assertive in this format as well. So, I'm not sure how good this card is. It could be worth testing, though. Let's see what else we have. I think Bilious Skull Dweller is great. Death Touch and Toxic 1 just make this a great 1-drop to play, and it scales into the game decently. I'm not as big a fan of the Apostle, just because I think late game cards aren't as high priority. And then Magmatic Sprinter has not impressed me when I've seen it in play. At common, I love Ichor Synthesizer. I think it's great. And I think Planar Disruption's also awesome. But I think Bilious Skull Dweller might secretly be better than both of those, just because it's a 1-drop. And I think Conduit of Worlds it seems a little bit slow to me. Like, I feel like you can't play it on turn 4 as a 4-drop, which just immediately kind of turns me off of the card. Because I think a lot of what this format has been about, in my experience, is figuring out a way to win on the draw, because you definitely can get really punished if you don't have a 2-drop on the draw. And Bilious Skull Dweller can really catch you up if you're behind, because on turn 1, if you play this, it'll trade with pretty much any 2-drop. And then the other thing is figuring out how you're going to make sure that your deck enables like some toxic stuff or things like that, or has like a strong game plan that's maybe assertive or whatever it is. Here, I think Nimraiser Paladin is the clear pick. Because it's just a very strong 5-drop, gets a lot of value when it comes into play, and it plays well with my current first pick of Bilious Skull Dweller. So 2 cards that both play into the toxic theme. I'm looking to play black-white, black-green. Not really looking at as much at black-green, but blue-black could definitely be an option. The rare is missing out of this pack. That's definitely something worth noting, is that I can't really get a huge signal point from the rare missing, because there are strong rares in every color. Though this card is quite good, so I'm happy to see this as a follow-up to Bilious Skull Dweller. This card's better than a lot of the rares, so maybe black could be open. There's not really any other cards that are on this same power level. Okay, so moving on to pick 3, we see Tamiyo's Logbook as like an artifact draw spell. I think this is just a bit too slow. There's Cephalopod Sentry as a blue-white reward, kind of, for artifacts. Vanish into Eternity is not very good. I think the best cards in this pack are, first up, Hexgold Slash. Again, as I was saying, you need ways to be winning on the draw, and this can really do a lot of work, because if you kill like their 3-drop or even their 4-drop with this, it can be excellent, and killing their 2-drop is sometimes just what you need to catch up. I also just love Contagious Vorak. It's excellent. Black-green is a great home for these poison cards, and so I'm going to take the Vorak over the Slash, because I think that the toxic cards I have will play better in black-green. So even if Hexgold Slash was equal to Vorak, which I don't think it is, I think it's better to just take a card that plays better with the 2 cards I already have. Dune Mover is another toxic card, but I don't think it's particularly strong. And then Skull Bomb can be doing some good work, but I'm not going to be prioritizing that either. So we've kind of got a great start to black-green potentially, but we'll see what we shall see. Moving on to pick 4. Next, this pack is very weak, just very weak. The rare doesn't really do much. It's even symmetrical, so if I cast a multicolored spell, they'll draw a card. This card hasn't been super impressive. I haven't really seen it do much. Vanish isn't great. Raptor isn't great. Surgeon's Insight just seems a little bit slow. And then I don't love these lands. I feel like a land coming in to be tapped has just seemed like it's lost a lot of games, because you really need to be like, the first few turns are crucial. That being said, I think Offer Immortality might be the best card for me to take. I haven't loved Plague Nurse, even if it does potentially play with these like toxic cards I have. Plague Nurse has not felt good to me. 4-mana 3/4 just feels too small to be attacking at that point in the game. So I think I'm going to take Offer Immortality. Just gets another black card into my pool of very strong black cards. And, the pack is just really weak. I don't feel like I'm really missing out on anything there. Okay. So here we're starting to see a signal emerge, and that is that we are not seeing any green cards. There wasn't a green card that last pack, really. There's not a green card this pack, like not even a single green card. And so maybe moving away from this Vorak and maybe black plus something else could be good. We are seeing a lot of red cards. We're seeing the Hexgold Halberd, which is just fantastic. 2-mana 2/2 first strike trample. Sign me up. We're also seeing Furnace Strider, which I like as a top-end red aggressive card. There's the Centurion, which can play well in black-red. And then there's Blade of Shared Souls, which is reasonable as just a way to make your another copy of your best creature. But I think I'd rather take the Hex Gold Halberd here because I think red has been open. We've been seeing a few red cards. Black-red, definitely something you can draft. Black-red or blue-black could be the home, or even just red-blue, because we're seeing definitely a few of those blue cards as well. I think Quicksilver Fisher is just a nice card, but not really something I look to prioritize. Dune Mover, again, 2-drop that you can play, but I don't know how... These black cards I have that care about Toxic, they're going to be fine even if I don't care about Toxic. My opponent might not know I don't care about Toxic, so that's something to keep in mind as well. I don't love the Necrotitan. Sacrificing your creature doesn't appeal to me. So I think here it's between Molten Rebuke and Quicksilver Fisher. I don't really want to take the Scrap Trap. Funny word to say, though. I think Molten Rebuke has potential, but I think Fisher might just be better. I'm not really excited about either option. But I like diversifying into another color, give myself more flexibility. Here, there's a Zealous Conviction. I think it's better than the Lightbringer. I don't think I'm really going to be an equipment deck. Black has also dried up as well. After I first picked, like, my best few cards were in black. There is a Noxious Assault, which could be good for poison. And then there's also just, like, this Vivisurgent's Insight. And then there's a Prophetic Prism. I don't think Oil Gorger Troll looks great in my deck. I could just take this Vivisurgent's Insight or this Noxious Assault. I don't love Noxious Assault, though, so we'll just take this. Maybe look towards a blue-black control deck. We've been seeing a lot of blue. Here there's a Chimney Rabble. Prologue to Phyrexia is not a card I'm interested in. You don't want your 2-drops to be not affecting the board. I think this is just a really bad 2-drop. And then there's Animist. I think Head Cleaver has potential, and Chimney Rabble has potential. I'm kind of not trying to take random black cards. I might take Chimney Rabble. I might take this guy. I might take this guy. I think I'll take the Chimney Rabble. I think is the card that could be the most useful to me. And now we see an Ichor Synthesizer, which I love. There's also a Furnace Strider, but I just think Ichor Synthesizer is great. So I'm going to take it. And blue has looked very open here, towards down the stretch. We have the option to kind of go blue-red. Black has not looked open, as I said. So blue-red is definitely something we could consider. So we'll think about it as we move forward. Furnace Strider would be my second pick. I think this card's great. I just haven't gotten to play it yet. Now we get to take Furnace Skull Bomb, which plays great with the Synthesizer. Just turns it on single-handedly, pretty much. Like, gets 3 oil counters onto it. There's a Meldub Curator, which I don't love. But I think blue-red could be a home for us. And we get a Surgical Skull Bomb. Again, I'm not prioritizing these lands, even though in a normal set I would. But getting a late Skull Bomb is also great. Again, it triggers the Synthesizer. And now I'm either going to take another Surgeon's Insight or the Surgical Bay. I still don't really want to take the Surgical Bay, though. So I'm just going to take the Insight. And Meldweb Strider versus Surgical Bay. Now I'll take the Surgical Bay. I think you can play one of these cards. Maybe I'm just going to take this. I'm just not going to take those tap lands. I think I've just witnessed them lose so many games. Okay. Here we see Techathal, Inquiry Dominus. Being able to give your guy indestructible is super powerful. You have to remove 3 counters, but we're going to have plenty of oil and stuff. So I think I'm going to get rid of the black cards. Black did not seem open. We were able to transition out of that, though, which I think is really nice. Green did not seem open either, but blue and red both seemed open. So I think we're going to try to play blue-red here. And getting a Techathal is nice. If you proliferate twice instead. We have Vivisurgent's Insight, which proliferates. And that's currently our only proliferate guy. But also just a 4-mana 3/5 flyer that can gain indestructible is good. So don't let yourself get lost in the sauce, as the saying goes. If I wasn't taking this, I'd probably just take the Volt Charge, just great removal spell for my deck. And then after that, Experimental Augury is just a good proliferator. But yeah, Techathal is a great pickup for our deck. Let's go back to curve mode here. We have 2 great 2-drops. I think both of these cards are excellent. Wow, getting past Akaya. We can't actually use it, but it's pretty crazy to see. Chad has pointed out, as I was about to point out as well, that 4 Mirrodin cards count as non-creature cards for your blue-red deck. Like, it'll trigger the Synthesizer, even though it's just a normal guy, so that's cool. I think Chimney Rabble is also just good to make 2 blockers. I'm glad I took that card. So let's look at what we want to think about here. I'm considering playing this Meldweb Strider too, just to try it out. So Experimental Augury is a nice option. We're not playing the Kaya. I think Churning Reservoir can do good work. Getting oil counters onto stuff. We have this card that cares about oil, this card that cares about, like, oil stuff, kind of. This card cares about oil. I kind of want to take the Churning Reservoir, because it's a 1-drop I can play that'll help my deck out. There's also Sawblade Scamp. which I can't really use effectively, and then Augury as well. But I'm just going to take the Reservoir. I like getting a good 1-drop. We're seeing tons of black-white here. Here, I think it's just an easy Hex Gold Slash or Ichor Synthesizer. I might wheel the Synthesizer, honestly. I think other people aren't into this card and nobody else is playing blue, really, because I got the last one pretty late. And I think Hex Gold Slash is really important for not falling behind. I currently don't have any removal spells, and I think my deck could play out as, like, play early 1-drops, play an Ichor Synthesizer, win the game. I think Hex Gold Slash is really good, and kind of exactly what my deck needs to not fall behind. 2-drops are super critical, but I think the Slash is just a tad better. And it's not always something you should do, but factoring in the fact that this card could wheel is definitely worth taking. Because this card's not going to wheel, but I could end up with both of the cards if I make the picks in this order. Okay. Here, there is a Furnace Punisher. There is Awaken the Sleeper, which isn't very good. So it's between Furnace Punisher as a 3-mana 3/3 Menace, which is just a great card, and Mesmerizing Dose as like a removal spell that proliferates. I think that I'm going to take the Furnace Punisher. I don't have a ton of creatures. I only have 4 right now, plus this, so that's 5, kind of. And I think it's just a really good card as a 3/3 Menace for 3. Just kind of does what you need to do. Mesmerizing Dose is not really super impressive to me. It's kind of expensive, kind of hard to cast, just doesn't really do what you want. So yeah, I'm going to take this guy. And now there is a choice here. There's Phyrexia Arena, pretty crazy card, but maybe not in this format because it's a bit slow. Also, by the way, if you're thinking, why isn't he trying to switch back into black? It's because I'm supposed to see black this pack because it was so cut off pack 1. I'm not going to see it in pack 3 at all. There's Malcator's Watcher. There's a Surgical Skull Bomb as another non-creature enabler. There's a Rabble. There is a Scamp. I think I'll just take the 2-drop, though. Get another card that can attack and block on turn 2, even if it's not the best. And maybe I'll even wheel the Skull Bomb. I think the Skull Bomb is nice, but I need to just make sure I get some 2-drops. The Rat King. There's Aspirant's Ascent. A card to keep an eye out for, but I don't think it's particularly interesting to me right now. There's this Meldweb Strider, which I kind of want to try these cards, but I'm just going to take Molten Rebuke to get a removal spell that can even be good against artifacts. Just having 1 copy of that's pretty nice. And I'm probably going to wheel the Strider if I'm honest. I'll take Quicksilver Fisher now. I think it's just a nice top-end card. I'm not interested in the Expanse. We wheeled Augury. No, we didn't wheel Augury. There's going to be an Augury next pack, maybe. Blazing Crescendo can do good work, too. Plays really well with the Halberd. Plays well with the Malcator's Watcher. I think I want to try the Augury, though. There's an Engraver as well. Crescendo. Augury, and then I'll take the Augury that's coming in this pack. It makes my Meldweb Strider a lot better. A 5/5 Vigilance isn't really that good, though. So maybe I don't want to play it. But I'll just keep taking the Auguries. And then we're going to see what we shall see. We get another Augury. There's also a Sawblade Scamp. But the problem I have with this card is a 1/1 is just not good enough. Even if it can like ping to deal the opponent every turn. I don't think that's good enough. Like 1/1 unblockable for 1 isn't even necessarily that great. And it's not even that. It's like significantly worse than that. I'm not going to play this Meldweb Strider, I don't think. Perfect. Just as I suspected. The Ichor Synthesizer wheeled, which I'm not surprised, but I think this card is the best blue common. That's my current evaluation of it. I don't think our deck is a Vivisurgent's Insight deck. I think we'd rather play the Quicksilver Fisher as our top-end threat of choice. This card, Double Proliferating, could be really good for us. We're going to look for ways to get counters involved, because we have a lot of Proliferate now for relatively cheap. We wield Mesmerizing Dose. Nobody else is playing blue. Let's go. So we'll see if we can make the deck work. We got a Skull Bomb to wheel as well. I kind of anticipated this. Nobody likes blue. Everyone's hating on blue, so we're going to see if we can make blue work. And we're getting all the cards we want. We're getting every blue card to wheel. Holy heck. Well, you know how I said we just need some sort of payoff for counters? Well, this one might be the best one in the entire set. When you put a counter on a permanent, you can deal damage to something. And you know what's really good at getting counters? Ichor Synthesizer. You know what else is good at getting counters? Augury. You know what else is getting good at getting counters? That 1/1 that we could have taken that we passed. But like, this thing makes counters. We're going to be able to make a lot of counters, and this card is going to be absolutely fantastic in our deck. And I think it's going to be great in our deck because we're playing blue. Because the experimental Auguries are going to be fantastic for us. Like, just adding a few counters to stuff, truly great. There's also a Hexgold Halberd, which would be my second pick out of this pack, but easy all will be one. We get to play the namesake card of the set. And all is right with the world. Oh! Oh, yes. Urabrask Heretic Traitor, the card that you expected to see in this set, has made an appearance. This card is great. Just 5 mana 4/4 is reasonable. Haste is nice. And then you just get to make your opponent like sometimes not be able to play their spells that they want. Draw you an extra card every turn. Just excellent. I do like Hexgold Slash. I do like Churning Reservoir. Maybe I can manage to wheel one of them. At the very least, I'll wheel this Malcator's Watcher. But I think I just have to take the Urabrask. It's just such a good card. Okay, and now what do I want out of this pack? This is a pretty weak pack for me. There is Oxida Finisher, but I don't have a lot of equipments. I, in fact, only have the one. I was very tempted to just take Hexgold Slash over Urabrask last pack, by the way. Like, I was very tempted, because it's just very, very nice to have. I don't need this, that's for sure. I don't really need 2-drops. I've got kind of plenty of 2-drops. I could take the Maze's Skull Bomb as just a non-creature spell that replaces itself. But I think I'll just take Furnace Strider, because it's another thing that can get counters that I can proliferate onto. And now we get another... Oh, no, that's not a synthesizer. There is a Batter Fist. Yeah, Strider does also work with that. There's Glistener Seer, which I do like as a way to, like, slow the game down, but I think I'm going to wheel Glistener Seer. I should be able to get any Glistener Seer that I want in this draft. And so I'm going to take the 2-mana 3/1 that counts as a non-creature spell. Similarly, I don't think I need this card draw spell. I think I'd rather get the Glistener Seer, but I also might wheel this card. I don't have any cards that do poison, and I don't think Divination is very good in this format, because you just don't have time. And I think having a card that comes in with counters that I can proliferate onto for my All Will Be One is important. And it also digs me for my All Will Be One. Okay, Experiment, cares about artifacts. I'll take the Blazing Crescendo now over the Chimney Rabble. This card's going to play well with a lot of the cards I have, like my Glistener Seers that I'm going to have. Okay. Do I want Sawblade Scamp? Or do I want a Furnace Strider? Or do I want this guy? I have a lot of double red cards and double blue cards. I don't think I can play this guy. I think we'll take the... the Facade's probably worth playing. I don't know if I can play another Furnace Strider. This is just kind of a weird counterspell to the Flash guy. This is a bad pack. I don't think the Scamp is good. I'd rather have Glistener Seer in that role, because the Glistener Seer just does everything that the Scamp does, but better, pretty much. It comes in with more oil. It comes in with oil counters on its own. Like, even this guy's better than that. Comes in with oil counters. It's for something to proliferate onto. If I can get Glistener Seers, I'd be very happy. I'm not going to get them, though, am I? I can tap it to proliferate. There's this guy, which comes in with oil counters when stuff dies. This could gain some oil counters for me. I don't think I want the 2/5. This card's interesting. It's a land that comes into play with oil counters, which is really nice with All Will Be One. There's another Vivisurgence Insight. There's this thing. Maybe yeah, I don't think I need Vivisurgence Insight. I just think Scamp is bad. I guess I'm not going to wheel Glistener Seers, eh? He spoke too soon! Perfect. I'm going to cut this Aspirant's Ascent, maybe. I just love the fact that I'm going to be able to crush people and they're going to not know what hit them. Oh my gosh. This deck is actually going to be sweet, I think. Plenty of proliferation. We have a lot of 5-drops. So 8/8/1 seems okay. Let's just see this. So this is exact split of the colors. I don't really like this card. I don't have any way to get them poisoned, so this is going to become dead later on. Insight could be worth playing, so we'll put it into the deck as we think. I have Malcator, not playable. We don't have enough artifacts. And then Meldub Strider, I don't think is good enough. It's just so much worse than a lot of my other options. Okay, I think that the Monumental Facade can do some good work. Especially because it's a land that fuels my All Will Be One. I have a lot of 5-drops in this particular build. Vivisurgence Insight could definitely get the axe. Am I a control deck? Am I a tempo deck? Let's think. I think I'm mostly a control deck. Because I mostly play Glistener Seer, play Synthesizer, look through my deck. I have the requisite number of 2-drops that I like to have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I have 2 1-drops. So I'm not going to fall behind too early. I don't think I'm an Aspirant's Ascent deck, because I'm not really an attacking deck. But I think Blazing Crescendo could be worth playing, but it also might not be, because if I play this and I flip my All Will Be One, my deck immediately loses one of its best ways to win. Churning Reservoir is great in this deck. Furnace Skull Bomb is great. The other Skull Bomb is great as well. I'm loving all these 2-drops. I'm loving the Auguries. Mesmerizing Dose is one of my only removal spells. I have that, All Will Be One, and Hexgold Slash as my main removal. Forged Hammer Centurion definitely could get cut. Chimney Rabble could get cut. This card's excellent with my Proliferate stuff. Holy heck. Imagine if I get this and All Will Be One in play. Just insane. I think Molten Rebuke is weaker, but it's definitely worth playing still just as another removal spell, because I only have like 3, as I said. The Furnace Strider I think is good. All Will Be One, obviously. Quicksilver Fisher seems good. I want to try it out, especially. So we're choosing from... We need to make 8 cuts, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards here, so we're just going to cut all these. We're going to cut those 6 right off the bat. And now we have to make 2 more cuts from the cards that I considered relatively uncuttable a second ago. But that was a second ago, and we're not living in the past. We're living in the present. So, what do I like here? I think flyers lose their value when you have other unblockable creatures, and these guys are going to be unblockable a lot. I like my early drops, like the Skull Bomb, the Seers. I think all of my early drops are staying, because I don't want to fall behind early. Mesmerizing Dose, I want to keep my removal spells. So with 2 more cuts to make, the Fishers are on the chopping block, the Furnace Strider's on the chopping block. Not going to cut any of these other top-end cards. Urabrask being a Hexgold Slash, interesting to see which one would have been better, but Urabrask is definitely the sort of card that can single-handedly win you the game. I think cutting at least 1 fish is probably correct. I have too many 5-drops. I have 3, 4, 5, 6 5-drops. I think that's too many 5-drops. So definitely going to cut one of those. So cutting 1 Quicksilver Fish, or maybe even both, because this card could just be better, because it comes into play with oil counters. But having a flyer is also nice. How many creatures do I have? I have 12 creatures. I have plenty of creatures to win the game with. Urabrask being able to get haste. He already has haste. Giving my creatures haste doesn't really do much, is the problem. A 4/5 haste is really nice, but I'm probably going to be playing a little bit more defensively. So I think I'm going to cut 1 Furnace Strider, 1 Fisher, and call it a deck. I think that this land could do some good work, which is why I'm not cutting it yet. So I think this is going to be the build. We can win a lot of games with this. Remove 3 counters, definitely something we can do. We're actually going to make him the artwork. Actually, we're going to make All Will Be One the artwork. We managed to get the Super Mythic Rare, this Mythic Rare, and this Mythic Rare. And we got all the early drops we could need. Oh, yeah, we have plenty of creatures. We have 10, but these are also creatures. Good point. Chat pointed that out. I could cut the Quicksilver Fisher for a draw 3. But I think for now, I'm going to play it like this, and then we'll make changes over time, because I like having the Quicksilver Fisher to try it out, because I haven't gotten to play with it yet, and it feels like it could be pretty good. So yeah, I'll see you folks in the games. If you've been enjoying my channel, you can support it at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. Patrons gain access to exclusive bonus content like my draft tier list for Phyrexia All Will Be One, where I grade every card in the set on an A through F scale and compile it into a handy dandy spreadsheet. I'd like to give a special shout out to the patrons who support at the credits level, and if you have been enjoying my content and would like to help the channel, you can do so at Patreon. Thank you to all of my patrons, and without further ado, let's get to the games. Welcome to round number 1. We are going to get to see all of our cards in action right off the bat. Start off with a Glistener Seer. We're not going to fall behind. We get to Scry to help find the lands if we need to. We have plenty of filtering to help find our All Will Be Ones, which is nice. Okay, we're going to start with the Barbed Batter Fist, get a creature into play, and then we'll see what we shall see next turn. We could have played the Skull Bomb and another Glistener Seer, but we're going to Scry so we can try to find our land. Hive Master, sure. We shall Scry, look for a land. Malcator's Watcher, not really what we want. We're not going to Scry on our turn, though. Perfect, we found the land. Play the Skull Bomb. Play, and then we're just going to play Experimental Augury because it's more mana efficient. Hold back on defense. Okay, sure. We'll definitely block. This requires crew 3, keep in mind. So we're going to Augury before we would ever even consider scrying. Urabrask or land. First we're going to set a stop. You know, we'll scry after. We want to keep it with at least one oil counter on it so we can proliferate. Urabrask or land, that is the question we have before us. Urabrask is better than a lot of the cards in our deck. It's also going to be better against them, I assume. And we can probably manage to find a land here. I'll take the Urabrask. Definitely proliferate. Definitely scry. And we found the land. Perfect. We can equip this here so this thing can trade with that. If they play a beefy creature, we can tap it with our Mesmerizing Dose, or bounce it and then tap it the following turn. Nimrazor is the sort of card that we'll just tap. They bring back their guy. I'm surprised they did not crew. Maybe they don't know how crew works. Monumental Facade. I don't really want that right now. Actually, I probably do because of the Quicksilver Fisher. But I really want to get this Urabrask down, so I'm not going to keep it. I'm going to put it on the bottom. Perfect. So now we can play land. We'll play Urabrask. Because playing Urabrask as early as possible makes it more likely that your opponent's going to hit cards they can't use. And we also get to reap the benefit of drawing an extra card every turn, essentially. Okay, so they hit this. Which, if they want to use, they won't be able to potentially deploy other cards that they care about. Probably going to kill my Glistener Seer. But they can't actually toxify me yet. Definitely get a scry in on our way out. See what we shall see. We don't really need that land, but let's see how... View the battlefield, Urabrask. Exile the top card. So exiling a land could be quite powerful, because then it just gives us something to do. So I actually am going to keep that on top. Because then I can exile it and then play the Quicksilver Fisher. Because they're probably going to play their 3-mana 3-2 now, because I don't think they can kill Urabrask with the mana that they have available now. Sure, they get their Toxic game on. Worth noting that if they had crewed this properly last turn, I would have been forced to like chump block this. Sure, that's totally fine. I can always bounce it back to my hand if I really care. Perfect. So I get to play this land. I can bounce this to their hand, or I can just play this. Draw a card, discard a card. I think I'm going to play... This is close. I do want to get the Quicksilver Fisher, but I want to save it for when I have an extra land in hand. And I know I'm going to want to Mesmerizing Dose this. Bouncing their token does have merit, but so does bouncing this guy next turn. This is a close situation. One of those classics. I don't want to take random toxic damage, so I am going to bounce this. And then I will see what I shall see from this draw step. So that because this thing is actually kind of a threat to me. Okay, I will now Mesmerizing Dose this guy. Proliferate. Because I'm drawing 2 cards a turn, as long as they don't find, like, a removal spell. Okay, Basilica Skull Bomb. They're still finding cheap cards. So that's the exact sort of case why bouncing their might is important. Because now they can't turn on their card. Like they might have wanted to. Sure, they're going to do this, and I'm definitely not going to block, I don't think. My Glistener Seer is pretty valuable here. So they still did turn on Corrupted this turn. But damage is a more relevant concern at this point. We will scry. That's a great card to keep on top. Because it's cheap. And that is a great card as well. If I would proliferate, I proliferate twice instead. So I can make an indestructible 3/5 flyer, I think, this turn. So I play the Furnace Skull Bomb. And then I have... Actually, maybe I can't do it this turn. So I play this guy, and then I would play the Augury, and I still can't do it. So I'm going to just play this. Play the Axiom Engraver. Play the Experimental Augury to proliferate a bit. And then I'll have the 3 counters to play this guy, make him indestructible next turn. And I'm going to leave up red mana because I do have red 1-drops that I can play. It is actually a great card to keep because I'll get to double my proliferation the following turn. Okay. Let's see what we shall see. Maybe we can make things awkward for them. Nope, they just keep hitting good spells. But once I have an indestructible flyer in play, it'll make things tough on them. And I know the bottom cards in my deck, so I know I'm getting close to my All Will Be One, which is how I'm going to win this game. Okay. I wanted the option to give Tekkathal indestructible immediately, which I think I'm going to be able to do here. Okay. No blocks. This thing's going to be able to hit me for Menace with Flying at some point, which is annoying. I'm not going to sacrifice that. I'm not going to scry. Perfect. There's the land that I want. And this is the land I can discard on my Fissure. So I'll play this. Play Tekkathal. Hold up as much blue mana as possible. Because I don't really want to take huge amounts of damage. And then I can simply pass the turn. And Tekkathal can gain indestructible. I can just pay the 3 mana. Or I can wait. I think I'm going to wait. Because if I can help it, I don't really want to have to use that now. Okay, they have a random flyer that they can use. And I could even make this into a 4/4 if I equip the thing. Okay. So he's indestructible. Definitely going to keep this thing around so I can proliferate. And I'm going to win as soon as I find my all-will-be one, and I have plenty of cards in my deck to facilitate this. They're out of juice almost. And they haven't done their menace flying thing yet, so I'm going to be able to get a second flyer into play. My turn. Exile the top card. Land, nice. Ichor Synthesizer, perfect. Play the land. Play the Ichor Synthesizer. Play Experimental Augury. Trigger the Synthesizer. Look at the top three. Find all will be one. Submit 4. Submit 4. 3 indestructible counters. And then I can use that later. I'm going to equip this here. Because this guy's going to be the guy attacking, I think. I'm going to hold back the Tekkathol. How much Proliferate do I have left in the deck? Some, but not infinite. Did I already use all 3 of my Experimental Auguries? Yes, I did. Yes, I figured they'd do that. And they do have a Proliferate, so they can get me down to 9 poison. Not what I like to see. I actually botched this. I should have discarded a card to try and find my kill spell. So I'm at a lot of poison here. Can I survive? Scry. That's a pretty reasonable card here. Discard land. Draw that. I could just be dead, though. I can't block it as menace. Come now. I would have blocked it if I could. Okay, they have that guy. Sure. See what I shall see. Hexgold Halberd. Okay. Play all will be one. Oh, this card's so good with the synthesizers I'm about to play. Play... So I could either play synthesizer and play 1 spell, or I could just play 2 spells. So I'm going to do that. Opponent Preacher. Kill their flyer. If I have any more Proliferate cards in my deck, which I'm not sure I do. Kill their tapper. So they have, I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blockers. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blockers. So I can't actually attack with anyone. Let's see what they have. Okay, it's just a land. And they win the game. That's unfortunate. Unfortunate. I did my best. Took me too long to find my all will be one. Okay. That was just close. Very close. I needed them not to have that Whisper of the Dross. But oh well. We'll do better next round, hopefully. See you there. Welcome to round 2. We've got a keepable hand here. We have an early removal spell. The Ichor Synthesizer. Now we have a Furnace Punisher. So we have a great curve lined up. So they play that. We're definitely going to kill it because it just lines up with our curve so well. Now we play 2-drop into 3-drop. We've kind of got the upper hand here. 2-drop. This thing having haste as a potential attacker is nice as well. Okay. They have a non-basic land, which is kind of funny. Play the Punisher. No, they have 2 or more basic lands. Never mind. So we're going to be able to hit them for some damage. Or we'll block their rat. Okay. Let's see what we find with this. Definitely take the spell as the option. Definitely proliferate. And I think we will hold back here. We're going to win a long game with our Urabrask. So we'll block their rat so they can't get more poison on us to take over this game. Or make them spend their turn using Sinew Dancer. Okay. They're tapping it now. Is 4 damage better or them not getting a poison on me? I think them not getting a poison on me might just be better. Yeah, they're going to try to kill the Urabrask anyway. I'm wondering... They must be worried about the damage to some degree. So they have Complete Devotion, so I can't really block, but they kind of have to just use that. And then I get to pull ahead on board, potentially. Because I don't want them to have the Sinew Dancer as a one-mana tapping guy. But I kind of have to let them hit me this turn. We're not blocking. Yep. And if they don't kill my Urabrask, I'm going to start drawing extra cards. Oh. Well, that's insane. That's a very strange play to make. Okay, we hit a land, which is not great. Definitely gonna just bounce that guy and then smack him. Because now we're at the 3 poison. They got the job done, but they had to exert some resources. And they might not be able to replay their 4-drop if they want to actually use the card they drew. That's the kind of powerful thing about Urabrask that we didn't see last game because they always just flip the cheap spell. But yeah, now they have to play this 6-drop and they can't redeploy their guy. To be fair, I'm terrified of this 6-drop because it has double strike. So, yikes. On that front. Okay, Glistener Seer. Interesting. Experimental Augury. Oh, Mr. Metronome raiding the channel. Thank you so much, Ben. I appreciate that. Welcome in, everybody. We're playing some blue-red control. We have 3 different mythics in our deck. It's sick. Definitely a cool deck. So we can play this, and we can give this thing... So this is double strike. Am I just going to lose to that thing? That would be sad. Oh, no. Oh, no, indeed. Huh. Blue-red is where it's at. I'm glad to hear it. Clearly, they flipped this thing off my Urabrask and they had the mana to cast it. I'm kind of in panic mode here. I think I'm going to experimental augury to see what I find. I don't think Halberd is the plan. Gosh. I have some stuff that can deal with that, but only if I have double blue. I have another one of these bouncers, and that could be useful. I could just play Halberd and equip and attack, and then if they attack me back, I can maybe do something then. Oh, I did this backwards. I should have played the synthesizer first so I could get the extra counter. I'm going to equip this to this guy. And then if they do attack me with the Apostle, maybe I can just win. Have a good night, Ben. Thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. Welcome in, everybody. My name's Nikolai. I make lots of YouTube videos on draft and draft strategy. I've got a draft guide for this set posted. Got lots of cool resources, archetype guides, analysis of combat tricks, all sorts of stuff. All the goodies. Oh, I'm in so much trouble. Oh, I'm in so much trouble. Oh, no. I'm going to need a little bit here of help against this Apostle. I do have a deal 5 in the deck, and if I kill the Apostle, I'm going to win. And they're at 8. Oh, gosh. They don't attack. Let's go. The dream. The scenario. We're going to win. I can't believe they didn't attack there. Let's go. What are they going to tap is the question. And they seem to tap before combat for some reason. So I can, like, re-equip the thing to my Ichor Synthesizer and be totally, like, almost kill them next turn. Sure. Good job, opponent. You tapped it. Probably just knew. Okay, double blue is going to be good. And I get it off my free Urabrask thing, so I have lots of options here. If I don't trigger this thing by 1, I'm going to be sad, because it was definitely my fault. Okay, we're going to get there. Okay, so we're going to play this. Play the Experimental Augury to see what we find first. Get the Ichor Synthesizer rolling. Ichor Synthesizer, currently my pick for best common. Not best common, best blue common. Okay, and then we're going to play this Skull Bomb. And then we are going to kill their 4/4 Double Striker. I don't really care about getting them on a 2-turn clock. They don't have an equipment. Yeah, they don't have equipment done. As much as I care about... Because they can just tap this guy, remember. So I much would rather get rid of the thing that is going to kill me. It has felt very easy to turn this guy on. Let's just say that much. Oh my gosh, do they have some sort of protection? No! Why wouldn't you attack me if you can put me on a 2-turn clock with having protection backup? Oh my gosh, I'm 1 point of damage from just killing them. That's an ouch. Yikes. Which means if I had played this thing before my equipment, I could have, instead of playing this thing, spent the mana to equip and just won. Yikes. Just watch them flip a White Sun Zenith or something off the top. Okay. Light Belly Rat. That's not going to do the job, I don't think. I think we still got this. Oh yeah, it's still early in the format, still learning all the perfect sequencing. Having an Urabrask in play is so funny to me. It's just cracking me up because I had to take it. You got to take the Urabrask when you see it. I got past the Urabrask. I have a really sweet deck. I'll show you guys the deck after this. Oh, no. That's sad. You hate to see it. But yeah, I have a really sweet deck. I've got Urabrask. I've got All Will Be One with a bunch of Proliferate. I have a Techathal, which is great with my Proliferators. I'll show you folks the deck list after this game. But yeah, welcome in, everybody. So great to have you. I can provide Oracle Tech on cards if you need it. Super funny, because they're all in some of them are in Phyrexian. Okay, why do they tap here? I wish I could tell my opponent, like, not during the game, because you don't really, it's kind of condescending to give them strategy advice during the game, but like after the game, just be like, amigo, my friend. Nice. Got the win! Huge. What a victory. What a victory. I'll see you folks on YouTube next round. Welcome to another round. We're on the play. We've got our Tekethal with the Glistener Seer, the combo. Perfect synergy. Oh, yes. The Furnace Skull Bomb. Interesting. Well, we have a halberd of our own. And just to show our opponent that we mean business. Got him. That sends the message that we want to send him. That we're not taking it from, like, taking bad stuff from anybody. They're going to have to beat us on our terms. Okay. I really don't want to have to scry with this guy, because I really want my Tekethal to just be able to absorb their counters. Yeah, I would love to play all will be won early. That's what chat is requesting. Early all will be won. Okay, let's see what you're up to, Ingrava. We're against red-green. I'm actually going to scry with this Glistener here, because I really do want to hit a land, and I can always Experimental Augury up to the counters I need to Tekethal. Indestructible. Oh, I love me an Ichor Synthesizer, but I just can't right now. Just can't, buddy. And I'm not going to scry on upkeep because, maybe I should scry on upkeep. Finding a land for Tekethal is of utmost importance to the cause. You know how it is. You got to get that Tekethal down. Let's go. I am a little bit saddened by not being able to keep the counters around on that guy. And now that we have Tekethal down, we can do anything. Like a 3/5 indestructible is just so good, especially with flying. We're definitely willing to pay the 4 life to get that thing in. Ah, they're just putting some more oil onto that engraver. I can respect that. You gotta engrave sometimes. Sometimes you just gotta keep a record. I will not rest until the truth of Phyrexia is inscribed across the multiverse. Well, shucks, buddy. Let's go. Attack. We will Experimental Augury. Double Proliferate, let's go, for the win. We will take All Will Be One. With Tekethal, it's our best combo. And then we will just pass the turn. Oh, man. Taking a land didn't really seem to make sense there. All Will Be One is one of our best cards, and with Tekethal, it's absurd. Ooh, blue mana. Exciting stuff. The Oil Gorger Troll. Sure. We can't kill anything with that. Worth a shot. I think we might just... Do we want to just remove all the counters from this thing now? I think we wait, because this way it'll still have counters later. Because now we can double proliferate onto it and then still have counters on it for our Tekkathol. And sure, it means that we don't get to Skull Bomb. I mean, sure, we don't get to use this thing as well, but... Now we can Tekkathol while they're tapped out. And just give him a counter. That's very valuable to us. And end the turn. I don't know how they kill Indestructible in red-green. It's like the color combination that can't beat Indestructible. Tekkathol hype. Inquiry Dominus. Ruling the multiverse with Dominus power. If they play a creature, we can bounce it. We're not going to even need the All Will Be One. I can even get a Scry in. No! Stop playing trolls! It's very annoying. The burn spell with affinity. Oh, it removes Indestructible. Oh, I forgot that it did that. I was thinking the burn spell for affinity before I gave this guy Indestructible. Let's scry, see what we can do. Facade. I'll keep a Facade. Why not? It'll work well with my All Will Be One. But I'm not going to play All Will Be One yet. I'm going to play Surgical Skull Bomb, and I'm going to bounce the Axiom Engraver so we can hit them for 6 again. And I'm going to keep holding up my Hexgold Slash. Not going to bounce this guy because I don't want them to draw more cards. But this thing has Menace, remember, so. Malcator's Watcher. And I think we're in good shape here. We can play All Will Be One, and if we have a land, we can then move something onto this and ping something. Which is cool. Our opponent has so many cards. 8 cards in hand? That's insane. Well, so bouncing this thing makes it so, like, sure, they can replay it, but they can't deploy other cards from their hand. That would maybe be more relevant. And this thing is going to just kill them with All Will Be One. Because it can ping them a couple times. Our deck has so much cool synergy going on. Unfortunately, our opponent is not playing the fastest, which does make it a little bit boring. But we're doing our best. Whew. I guess this is one of those times when I can take questions from the chat. Even though we're doing a game and I'm theoretically focused on winning with my utmost abilities. Okay, sure. Yeah, sure. Oh, gosh. I don't think it's worth killing any of those things. Unless, of course, they attack me with the Oil Gorger Troll, in which case I'll kill this thing and swing for the win. Yep. Nice. Play the All Will Be One. And this thing activates only as a sorcery. They're at 1. Yes! all will be one victory. Just count the number of rares I had in play. That's right, 3. And 2 of them were mythic. For the win. See you folks next round. Into another round. We are back on Mythic Tribal. Mythic every game. This is definitely a keep. We've got a Skull Bomb that we can get on turn 1, and then we can play this on turn 2, bounce something on turn 3. Japanese. Okay. I'm less good at recognizing Japanese, I guess. I know what Chinese looks like, because I took Mandarin for a year. Or I guess I know what Mandarin looks like. Yorimitsu. Is that what... Chat is saying this says Yorimitsu in Japanese? Or maybe that's the name of the script type. Regardless, we're off to a blazing start here. So blazing that they don't even have a creature for me to bounce. Okay, chat is saying their name is Yorimitsu. Perfect. Nice to meet you, Yorimitsu. Here we go. So we can either dose it or bounce it. Perfect. I guess our opponent has chosen the third option. Neither. I don't know what they're up to, but my cards are all very reactive, which is kind of funny. Charge of the Light Brigade! Or, in this case, the Might Brigade. Wait, did they do that on my main phase? Why wouldn't they do that on my end step so I couldn't use this card? Okay, well, maybe they're going to enable something here. Okay, so they're going to enable Corrupted, and there's not much I can do about it. My hope is that even though they'll enable Corrupted, which I can't stop. I mean, they're going to trade here, but, like, they could, in theory, if they really needed Corrupted, just not trade and take the 7 for a turn or something. Let's hope they exile something expensive and not a land. Sometimes it's not your day, you're a Brask. Oh, gosh. They're just coming after me. Nice. So I can play this. I can tap this guy with the dose. Dosey-do, as they say. Submit 0. I could also just swing for 5. But I think I can just... No, I will just swing for 4, because I can just play the Malcator's Watcher now. Oh, I could also have played my land. Genius. So I could have also equipped the thing. My bad. Ah, yes, Erebrask. Continue exiling their lands. It is very helpful. So I'm just going to go to 8 poison, I think. So, ouch. Huh. No, maybe not the most ideal situation. Maybe if I had traded with one of those things this past turn, I'd actually be able to win. So... yeah, I guess I should have... oh, I'm not dead. Not quite. Yikes. Sure. Shall draw a card. Uh-oh. If I'd traded with a Might earlier, this would have been a lot easier to win. Spell, no! Sad day. Gosh darn it. I feel like setting up for lethal is totally fine there, because I probably can't beat the mites all the time anyway. Oh my gosh, sad day. Land, 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 land was not a good success recipe there at the end. In clutch time, my deck could not come together, but we still have a round to give. We have one more loss we can take, and I'll see you folks next round. Okay, another chance at redemption. We have a good 2-drop. Tekkathol. We're against some Speedster. Going with their Sinew Dancer here on turn 1. Luckily our Halberd is here for the... I mean, just look how cool this Halberd looks. Oh, your Mandible Justiciar is no match for me. This card's great. 2/2 first strike trample. Let's go. Black-white again. Ah, early drop tribal. I see. I understand. So what could they have? They could have -1/-1, in which case this block works better. They could have +2/+2, in which case it doesn't really matter where I block, and I'd rather they don't gain the extra life, probably. What else? If I block this way, and they do have +2/+2, I guess the cards I'm thinking about are -1/-1 and +2/+2. If they have +2/+2, they'll use it here. They'll hit me for 3. If I block the other way, but if they don't, if they have -1/-1, then I still kill their guy. But I feel like they don't attack with this if they have -1/-1. They probably have +2/+2. But I'd rather bounce this guy next turn. Because he's a 2-drop. So we're going to do this. Oh, as long as it's your turn. So I made the correct play. I assumed which card they had properly. And then I botched it because I didn't read my own card. Aha! Strategical thinking at its finest. I knew they had it. I was so smart. I was like, oh, this is the sort of attack that could signify Whisper of the Dross. And by doing this, I set them up on a 2-for-1. They traded this and this for my 2/2. Let's go. I'm the greatest. Hello, Justiciar. I recognize you. I'd recognize you anywhere. Oh, no. Well, I'll kill that guy. It'll be fine. That's right. Time for a little Tekkathol. There's a Tekkathol in all of us. Oh. Dang it. There's a little bit of Tekkathol in us all. I'm gonna avoid the poison damage. They're gonna have their guy that's chipping away at me, but I feel like going to a high poison count could be really bad. I'll take 3 damage here, and then I'll just take 1 a turn while I figure things out. Oh, my own Tekkathol. I see. I see what you did there, opponent, and I don't like it. It's not kind to use people's Tekkathols against them. That's not what it means to be... Oh my gosh. And I already used one of my bounce guys. Oh, this is such a nightmare. This card blowing me out. And they can even... They don't have the 3 counters. Oh no. Oh, I'm definitely blocking here. I'm in survivor mode. I'm a survivor. Let's see what I draw. Please be something good. Oh, that's not good enough. Okay. I am in deep trouble. Tekkathol has just toasted me. Okay. Come on. Not quite. Okay. I can kill this guy at least. That's pretty good. Oh man, I'm gonna lose. Jeez. Oh, I forgot to scry. And die. Gosh. Live by the Tekkathol, die by the Tekkathol. That's how I live my life, and I'm gonna lose. Gosh darn it. So massively punished for the... Actually, not really. I was gonna lose to their flyer either way. I was gonna say massively punished for killing this guy when I could have killed their Tekkathol, but, like, it wasn't gonna matter, because I would have died to this thing, too. Oh, what went wrong that game? Oh my gosh. I thought I had him. I 2-for-1 them. My Tekkathol died. That was not good. Oh well. Oh well, let's look at the deck. I think the deck was still pretty good. Just, maybe it was just too weak. Maybe it didn't have the power it needed. The strength. 4 mythics or 3 mythics wasn't enough. I don't know. We didn't really have any crazy starts, but I guess maybe our deck wasn't as explosive as I thought. The Glistener Seers didn't really block what I wanted because all their guys had evasion there at the end. But the deck still seems sick, so I think it did have potential. We did get a bit unlucky with our opponent's Urbrasks, like never like really wrecking them. But I don't know, maybe I was supposed to play Blazing Crescendo as an extra way to buff up my like 0-3s and make them relevant for trading purposes. That could have been good. I'll be interested to hear what people in the comments section have to say. If you did make it all the way to the end of this video and you're watching on YouTube, in the comment section down below, leave hashtag live by the Tekkathol, die by the Tekkathol to let me know you made it all the way to the end of the video. Remember to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe for more draft videos, and comment with your questions, thoughts, and feedback. They're very helpful to me in making the best videos possible. If you would like to support my content, you can do so at Patreon, patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. Gain access to some cool rewards, be eligible for patron drafts and things like that. And yeah, I appreciate all of the support that I've been getting over on Patreon recently with the new set coming out. Also, if you would like to catch me streaming live on Twitch, there's a link to that in the description down below as well. And yeah, that's going to do it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you next time.